Hey there guys, Ephraim's Vanguard here, and welcome to this next episode of Let's Play SpongeBob SquarePants Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. Let's start up right off by trying to talk to Sandy, see what she has to say.
Hiya, Sandy! Boy, am I glad to see you! You won't believe what happened to me and Gary this morning.
Let me guess. Curiosity got the best of you again?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Well, don't you fret, little varmint. This squirrel knows just the thing to cheer you up. A good old-fashioned karate match. Just step into my arena when you're good and ready.
So Sandy wants us to, well, I guess we'll go in there. Apparently we'll be, not playing karate, doing some karate. We'll see what, she has to say about that. This is definitely a weird part of the game, when SpongeBob changes his, attire again. Again, this has its own, this is actually pretty interesting. I think this is only used for 2 parts of the game, but we get some awesome background music. Sounds like it's straight out of Okami. SpongeBob does that weird eye thing with his idle animation. Of course, his glide is him inflating the glove, which is cool. You get a pretty standard... Oh, no, there's combos. We'll see, we'll see. I was going to say the standard attack was just a karate chop, but there's a bit more than that, as you might expect.
Okay, now listen up, because I'm gonna remind you how this all works. We've got a short amount of time to bust up all this junk in your yard. The person who breaks the most stuff when the time runs out is the winner.
Just tell me which moves are legal, if you have the guts.
I'll teach you a few moves. You can press the action button to karate chop, and press the action button a couple of times to chain attacks together, press the action button in the air to do a kick. Got all that? Ready, set, go!
Thanks, Sandy. Oh, we gotta beat Sandy, and she can hurt us.
Ow!
Haha!
Ow!
This is for sharing the same voice as Ashley from Resident Evil 4. That's always been something that weirded me out once I found out about that.
Ow!
It doesn't keep her from being any less annoying in that game, though. So as you can see, you just gotta destroy more than Sandy. Not that hard to do, especially if you try to stun her.
Ow!
Oh, she's actually catching up. That's not good. The only issue with continually mashing the B button is that if it doesn't hit,
Ow!
as you can see, Sandy's starting to catch up because I keep on doing exactly that, mashing the B button. It has a very long cooldown time, I guess. No, Sandy. Kick you. Well, we completed that. Our karate skill is mighty.
I gotta admit, SpongeBob, that was some tussle. You did okay for a sea critter.
Oh, you weren't so bad. For a land critter.
That plum took all the fire out of me. I'm going home for a nap. Why don't you drop on by my treedome and pay a visit, okay?
That was sure swell of Sandy to cheer me up. I wish I could do something special for her. I know! I'll give her a present! But what would Sandy like?
Maybe we could have done that earlier. I'm not quite sure. Like, I mean, grabbing Squidward's book and then causing Sandy to come out of nowhere. We'll see. We'll see. But apparently Sandy immediately comes out of her tree dome, busts up some rocks, does some karate, and then wants to go back home for a nap.
I love visiting Sandy in her tree dome. Where else in Bikini Bottom can you worry about dying from all this air? That's strange. I don't feel as dry as I usually do, and I don't need my helmet at all. Oh, the ground in here is soaking wet.
SpongeBob! Get your squishy little body over here! Help!
Now that was like Ashley from Resident Evil 4. Like, if she didn't have the slight southern accent there, it would be almost identical to Ashley. So let's see what Sandy has to say.
What happened in here, Sandy?
I got all fired up after our karate match and wanted to practice some more, but I guess I got carried away because I accidentally poked some holes in the dome. This place is filling up faster than 11 gallons in a 10-gallon hat.
What can I do to help?
See if you can find something to plug the holes in the dome. You've got to plug all the holes to stop the water from coming in.
Alrighty, so we need to keep Sandy's tree dome from flooding. I think this was always my favorite area in this game just because of how bright and colorful it is. So we have 9 holes in total in here. So obviously we plug them with acorns, just throw them up against the holes and that'll do the trick. I don't know why, I've always liked, not necessarily forest areas, but I know it sounds weird, but areas with a big tree. And I know that's specific, but if it's focused around a big tree, for some reason I tend to enjoy it. Like, even though I haven't played the game in the Mario 64 ROM hack, Super Mario Star Road, and I only know that because Attacking Toucans played it. Normally I would link that, but I don't think he has it up on his channel anymore. Both because of copyright things and because he wants to focus himself more as a music channel. But the point is, he played through that game, and I remember in that level, there was one level that was centered around a giant tree, and it reminded me a lot of this. But after we throw this up here, I think we'll have half of them down? Yeah, 5. Fortunately, they usually have an acorn nearby for you to get, so you don't have to go that far out of your way. There we go. I do find it interesting how that's the way they kept themselves, how having the tree dome be wet, they kept it from having to put a helmet on SpongeBob and mess up all of his models and moves that way. Because, like, he couldn't roll if he had a helmet on, even though you don't really use that anyways. Plug up this one. Oh, missed it. At least they don't despawn like the Krabby Patty food does that we had to deliver. Let's do that. Usually if you stand at the bottom of the spout when you jump up, you can do it pretty well, but right now I'm having some trouble. Let's do it from back here. Oh, I guess if you do it from the puddle, then you'll be fine. So yeah, just these 2 holes left. Got around this surprisingly quick. I thought the area was a bit bigger, but... So 1 last hole, and there's the acorn right there, so do that. Throw it there. There we go. So now let's talk with Sandy again, now that we kept her place from flooding.
Mission accomplished! All the holes are plugged!
Thanks, SpongeBob. You're a real lifesaver. This place will probably stay soaked for days. As for me, I'm going upstairs to dry off. Tarnation! All those holes in my dome made this place wetter inside than out. I could sure use something special to spruce up this old tree.
So apparently Sandy just walked inside and immediately walked back out and complained to us. Oh, I broke your thing. Hope you don't mind. But even though the holes have been plugged, it's still wet enough that SpongeBob can walk around. And as you can see, he does. They do have some slightly different things. Like you're constantly walking around in puddles, it looks like. And are you going to come out? No, no. No, because that would be easy. And SpongeBob, water is trailing off of SpongeBob. Let's get. Oh, that's upsetting. I wanted to see what I can do here. I know I said last episode that I was going to explore downtown Bikini Bottom, and then I accidentally came over here. So I'll probably go back there in this episode. You know, I think talking to Sandy is enough story for one time around. So let's do that. Yeah, there's just a very small split second where you can stay on there before hopping to the next one. Get that P. Come over here to these leaves. You do have a different sound effect jumping on them, but it doesn't bounce you any higher, like that sound effect would lead you to believe. I don't think there's any jellyfish in here, are there? Yeah, we got 100% of the jellyfish. Look at that. One of our goals is to take a bird bath. You know what could really help with some of this water? More water. I mainly just want to hear music again. Run on the wheel until the time is up. So, I almost said we were playing Donkey Kong, but this isn't Donkey Kong. It would be if we were on a barrel. But instead, we just gotta keep up the pace on this slowly moving hamster wheel. For some reason, those puddles are floating in midair. Yeah, generally if you stay in there, you won't have too hard of a time with this. But the puddles underneath SpongeBob are floating because they couldn't bother having physics. Just gotta make sure you don't fall off. This is a lot like a mini game in it's either the first or the second Mario Party. I haven't played either of those games, I just know about them from the Runaway guys. But I remember there being something similar to this, where three are on a spinning thing like this, and then one player tries to knock them all off within the time limit. And if we do that, then that inn will pop up out of the ground, and it will be given to us. How exactly that works, I don't know. Come over here, collect these coins. Make Sandy's treedome a bit more wet just because. And you can frolic through all the flowers. That's the first step in fun. It's a little odd how the Sandy's treedome is the most colorful area in an underwater, in a game that's mostly set underwater. Because usually it's the other way around. Water levels are usually the most colorful out of all of them. Like that's generally the case in Mario. Well, we have only 55% of the coins, but I can't find any more in here, so I guess we'll
Tarnation! I could sure.
Nah, I don't need to hear you anymore. I guess we'll just go back to Bikini Bottom. Now we'll go back to downtown. Unless something happens, then I'll just meet you. I'll meet you guys there. Okay, so now that we're back in downtown, we can focus on gathering jellyfish and the like, and defeat some greasers while we're at it. Gotta clean the streets of the youth. I didn't mean to make that sound like some sort of I don't know what the term would be, but it wouldn't be good. Oh, dang it. So we got lots of jellyfish to catch here. And do we have all the money? Yeah, we do. So don't need to worry about any floating dollar bills. So the only two letters we have left to get is check the high-rise plumbing and get to the top of the high-rise, and then we can collect the Dutchman's treasure for this area. But I don't want to do that this episode. I think I just want to end this episode by by collecting coins and jellyfish. I don't really have much to say, so I don't know if I'm going to be talking about anything that I haven't already said, or if I'm just going to be maybe montage this, overlay it with some sort of music. One thing I guess I can mention is I know lots of people that do content on SpongeBob, like in particular even reviewers like Pie Guy Rules. First of all, if you haven't seen his reviews of SpongeBob, he does... Don't kill me. Don't kill me. He does really in-depth stuff. I'll link his channel right here if none of you have seen him. He does reviews of every season of SpongeBob, and he does it episode by episode, so it's really comprehensive. He goes over the good and the bad of each episode, usually for a few minutes each. And so far he's done that for seasons 1 through 9. I don't know what season SpongeBob is on now, but he does. That's what he does. And I really enjoy his content. He can recognize when a thing is good and when it's not. And I generally really respect his opinion. There's other people like game over. There's other people like Mysterious Mr. Enter. I know he's a very decisive person that reviews stuff. He's generally he started off being with negative SpongeBob videos, but one reason I mean, I still watch him from time to time, but I think he can kind of have he kind of goes, Mr. Enter, that is, he kind of goes into a my way, my thoughts and my opinions are the right way sort of mentality, the only good way, and I just generally don't agree with that. Plus, sometimes I feel like he overly focuses on the negative. Like, he has two main series, Animated Atrocities and Admiral Animations. To give you an idea of the type of guy he is, I think right now, Animated Atrocities has between 2 and 3 times as many videos as Animated Admirable Animations, despite the fact that he started the series very close together. And I know generally negativity gets him more views, but that's probably why he does it. Those videos are more popular. But sometimes I do feel like he only focuses on the negative aspects instead of mentioning any good qualities. Like I mentioned, Pie Guy Rules, though, he's generally kind of fair and balanced about that kind of stuff. Like I said, and he isn't all negative. He'll even recognize the good aspects in the worst seasons of SpongeBob, like season 6. I suppose while I'm doing this, I can talk about my own history with SpongeBob. As I mentioned, before I get on to that reason I was originally talking about them, aside from the tirade, people that review SpongeBob, I know they have trouble with Viacom and copyright. Generally, copyrights only affect you if you monetize, because having a copyright claim can demonetize your video, which I know Viacom is famous for doing. And of course, Nickelodeon is a Viacom subsidiary. And of course, they're also very protective of by far their most lucrative IP being SpongeBob. But I don't really have any issues so far. Like, in terms of my channel, I might have different ideas about copyright and that kind of stuff, but I'm no legal expert. But as I was saying, I don't want you to hit me. As I was saying, the copyright stuff hasn't really hit me because I don't monetize my videos. So I haven't gotten a copyright claim yet. There is some stuff that does it automatically, like when I was testing recording test footage for the PS2. Like I said, recording test footage for the PlayStation 2. The game I was testing out was Star Wars Battlefront 2. And that was content ID'd because it has Star Wars music in it. And Disney's also very protective of its stuff, especially something as popular as that. And that did get content ID'd. But it didn't end up with a copy strike on me. I think if it did anything, all it did was either prevent me from ever monetizing the video, which is not even released, it's solely for my purposes, so there's that. But as I was saying, sorry I keep on going on tangents, this is what happens when I talk off the cuff, whatever comes to my mind, and now I'm going on a tangent about a tangent. But copyright. I haven't been hit with a copyright strike, and I know some people, lots of people actually, have problems with the way YouTube's handling it. They are a big site, and so they can't have manpower for everything. I mean, they could probably afford to, but that's just a whole bunch of mess I don't want to get into. I don't want to get into YouTube politics. I don't want to get into politics, period. That's probably why I haven't, in case you haven't noticed, I try to avoid talking about politics on here. It doesn't come up much, and I'm going to make it come up like so many other YouTubers do. I'm not going to get into YouTube drama. I guess that's the better term, YouTube drama, not YouTube politics, because politics are on YouTube. Oh, there's a jellyfish. You see I'm going on tangents again. But I haven't been, like I said, I haven't been affected by copyright. Of course, at the time I'm recording this, I've only released one video of SpongeBob because of technical issues. In fact, the second episode is currently rendering as I'm talking right now, trying to get that to go up as soon as possible, but It's been quite a hassle. Quite a hassle. Let's hope that trend doesn't continue. Okay, so back to what I was talking about, or trying to get to, my own history of SpongeBob. I've been watching it, like, literally my whole life. I think it premiered the same year I was born, 1998. So, and my sister loved it as a kid. And, of course, I watched it, and I love it, too. The first few seasons, that is. I think it's either seasons 1 through 3 or 1 through 4, but I love them anyways, and like so much we even bought the whole first 2 seasons on DVD, and yeah, we've always enjoyed SpongeBob. I stopped watching, not completely. I was still tune in every now and again afterwards, but my interest after that mainly went towards Cartoon Network and then Disney Channel. For the longest time. Disney Channel more when I was like 10 to 12, Cartoon Network generally between ages, I guess 6 or 7 and then up to 10. I'm not really finding anything. But before that time, the main show I watched on Nickelodeon was SpongeBob. And it was the main one my sister would watch with me. Of course, it's become popular in a sort of, well, not youth culture. I'm not a youth anymore. I mean, I'm 19, so kinda. I'm a young adult, technically. Legally an adult in Georgia. Legally an adult everywhere, just not a full adult yet. But the point I keep on trying to make is I did enjoy the show a lot. I watched it religiously as a kid. Like, my favorite episodes always were the chocolate with nuts episode and the pizza delivery episode. I don't know why I said the and then the title and then the episode. It's those are the names of the episodes. And then another one that I always enjoyed was the paper. Too bad that it's paired with the Valentine's Day special, and because that it only gets shown once a year, and that always upset me because I really like that episode. But aside from that, I think we're done with jellyfish collecting in this area. And as I said, I fell off really after the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. I remember going to see it for my birthday, and that was exciting. Because I was like 7 at the time. And I enjoyed that, but I just kind of... It wasn't necessarily because the quality of the show was growing bad. I mean, it kind of was, but that didn't matter to me as a kid. It was just because my interest went, as I said, towards Cartoon Network stuff at the time. But that's a brief overview of my history of SpongeBob. I don't watch it that much anymore. In fact, I watch barely any TV anymore. And I would just kind of watch it when I didn't have anything better to do. Like, I've still seen plenty of episodes after that, but it's because I didn't sit down, watch and tune into a new episode. It was always because it was just on and I didn't really have anything else to do at my grandparents' house, something like that. Or at my mom's workplace before she could take me home after school. You know, just circumstances like that basically had me watch SpongeBob. I do still enjoy it. It's a huge part of my childhood, and that's kind of why I have so many SpongeBob games, including this one. And like I said, this isn't the best made game, but it's still a ton of fun to play. Not a ton of fun, but it's still fun to play. Like, I'm not having a bad time like I was in Ed, Edd and Eddy. Not to say Ed, Edd and Eddy was entirely a bad time, it was just certainly frustrating at points. This one isn't really frustrating, it just doesn't have much going for it. It's more, outside of the SpongeBob, the aesthetic gets really bland. But hey, the SpongeBob aesthetic was enough to keep me entertained as a child, and so far it's doing a good enough job now. But right now, we'll save over that. I think that's enough for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.